All right, guys, today we review Bardstown Bourbon Company's Fusion Series 7. Now, the Fusion Series 7 celebrates the blending of newer and older whiskeys to create something unique. The three younger blends inside this Fusion Series 7 were actually distilled and blended by Bardstown Bourbon Company. It is their own distillate. I do want to shout out Bardstown Bourbon Company for supplying me with the sample to review on the channel. I am very excited to get into this one. I'm a big fan of the Fusion series and the Discovery series and most of what Bardstown Bourbon Company puts out. But guys, without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so as I said, the Fusion Series 7 is one of the newest releases from Bardstown Bourbon Company. This one comes in at 98.1 proof. Retails for anywhere between $60 to $65. So the breakdown inside this mash bill, there are three blends, younger blends inside of this that are Bardstown Bourbon Company's own distillate. And the last two blends are actually older blends that do complement those younger expressions. But let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown of what's inside this bottle. It starts with 54% of a 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. That is Bardstown Bourbon Company's own distillate. There's a 10% 3-year, 60% corn, 40% rye. That is another Bardstown Bourbon Company distillate. There is a 6%, 60% corn, 26% rye, 10% wheat, a 4% malted barley. That is also a 3-year Bardstown Bourbon Company 4-grain blend. Then into the older whiskeys, there's a 20%, 12-year, 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. And finally ends with a 10%, 12-year, 75% corn, 13% rye, and a 12% malted barley. Those are the 5 blends inside of this Fusion Series 7. Really excited to get into this one, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the nose. Wow, so first thing I get is a lot of sweet corn and then a lot of honey. Very first thing that I get on the nose. Actually very like a refreshing nose. Kind of crisp. Nice like vanilla cream as an undertone there, not overly dominant. Nice like sweet caramel as well. A little bit of like an orchard fruit there, a little bit further away from the glass. Definitely picking up some rye spices. It's a very inviting nose. Like I said, it's crisp. It has some like orchard fruits in there, some honey, some rye spices. Nothing that's overly dominant. It's a very nice, like I'd say, well-balanced nose. Nothing that's really like striking you. Get in the palate, guys. Cheers. Wow, that's really good. So first thing I get, definitely get a lot of the rye spice influence off that first sip. Covers the palate very well. Very viscous and mouth coating. Leaves a nice like burn across the top of your tongue with those rye spices. I mean, there are, within those blends, there are some heavier rye, some rye content inside of there. So you are going to get those rye spices. But there's also like this really nice like that honey and corn sweetness right on the front of the palate as well. A medium to long lingering finish on this one. Still like very saturated on my tongue. Really nice first sip on this guy here. Let's get into the second one. Yeah, so a little bit changed on that second sip. Rye spice kind of died down a little bit across the palate. Again, some like some vanilla corn sweetness up front there. Actually, a little bit of butterscotch right from the front into the middle of the palate. A lot of sweetness right on the front, and then the back end is kind of where it gets like this sweet oak, maybe a little bit of like toffee there into the finish. A little bit of black pepper as it kind of lingers down. It's a very well balanced bourbon. Just very, again, some sweet, some spice, a little bit of savory in there as well. Medium to long lingering finish. Again, it kind of sits there and just kind of saturates your palate. Nice viscosity to it. And what I like about it too is that it still has some consistency to it, but yet continues to evolve at the same time. Guys, getting the last sip. Cheers. Yeah, so even more. This one like just continues to evolve all over the palate. So on the front is like where it's sweet, butterscotch, corn, nice vanilla, some honey there. Sides of the palate now, I pick up this this lemon orange kind of on the sides of the tongue. Not overly dominant. I definitely pick up some citrus there. Rye spices still continue to linger across the top of the palate. Into the back, you get the pepper. Then there's like that like toffee sweetness too that kind of goes like right into the back end there. This, like I said, a little bit of butterscotch there on the front. Yeah, really, really evolving. I like it. You know, like so a lot of those flavors are consistent throughout. Through those 3 sips, there were some that were consistent, and I like that. But then it also evolved from the front all the way into the finish. The finish is still going, long lingering finish. This is a fantastic blend here by Bardstown Bourbon Company. I mean, I really, you know, that marriage between those 3 younger blends they put in there and the 2 older blends, they complement each other very well. You do pick up a little bit of youthful notes with some of that sweet corn on the nose and on the palate. You know, you do get some of the rye spices in there, that rye influence with some of those high rye mash bills. And then some of the older whiskeys do give it some of those, maybe a little bit of like oak tannins in there, and you know, some of those sweeter, more, you know, more viscosity, those kind of notes like in mouthfeel. Really well balanced bourbon here from Bardstown Bourbon Company. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to send a big thank you over to the team at Bardstown Bourbon Company for supplying me with the sample to review on the channel. Very, very well balanced bourbon right here. You know, for only being 98.1 proof, again, the viscosity, you know, that mouthfeel, and then those evolving tasting notes, very, very impressive. I'm very impressed by the blending job that they've done over there. Very well balanced bourbon. I really look forward to getting back into this a little bit down the road just to see if anything else evolves from what my original tasting notes were. So again, thank you, Bardstown Bourbon Company, for supplying me with the sample to review on the channel. Guys, if you're looking for more reviews like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You can also find me on Instagram at Dusty Days Whiskey Reviews. And until next time, guys, stay dusty.